Roberto De Zerbi has announced a major clear-out with many departures expected from his squad this summer now that Premier League survival has been secured. On Chelsea's side, there will be no European football next season, while Pep is saying his goodbyes to the Etihad Stadium. Welcome to 12th League Daily, the sharp daily roundup of football news. Tottenham are at the heart of absolute drama at the bottom of the Premier League table on this final day of the season. Mirror Sport sums up the situation perfectly with a punchy headline, De Zerbi goes bananas. Arriving midway through the season to act as the club's firefighting manager, Italian coach Roberto De Zerbi let his rage and joy spill over after his side's crucial 1-0 win over Everton, secured thanks to a decisive goal from João Palhinha. That vital victory allowed Tottenham to seal survival at the very last moment with 41 points. Yet, despite the collective relief, the fiery coach used the pages of the Telegraph to send a chilling warning to his board. "We are Tottenham, and we cannot suffer like this until the very last second of the very last match just to stay in the top flight. I will be stronger. Stupid people forget the past. Smart people cannot forget it." He did, however, admit to being relieved that survival has been secured and also announced that there will be numerous departures and arrivals in the next transfer window.
I think we deserve to stay up because we made 11 points in 7 games. And we have 10, 11, 12 players good enough to stay. Good enough is like a players. And then we have to complete the squad with first level of players because we suffer too much.
By contrast, this happy ending for the Lily-Whites sealed West Ham's collapse. The Hammers had done their part by crushing Leeds United 3-0 at the London Stadium, but Tottenham's victory mathematically sent them down to the Championship with just 39 points. As the Times puts it soberly, alongside a photo of a shattered Jarrod Bowen, relegation for West Ham. This brutal verdict ends 14 straight years in the top flight. While the Hammers captain expressed his deep sadness and promised to do everything he can to bring the club back to the highest level, the futures of manager Nuno Espirito Santo and several key players are now more uncertain than ever. While the bottom of the table delivered its cruel verdict, North London was celebrating for a very different reason. Already mathematically champions, Arsenal were officially crowned at the Palace, as the Daily Telegraph puts it on its front page. After more than 2 decades of waiting and frustration, Mikel Arteta's Gunners were finally able to lift the English title trophy after a final day 2-1 win at Selhurst Park against Crystal Palace. The Daily Express, meanwhile, prefers to highlight the Spanish coach's redemption with a sharp headline, "Arteta ends title doubts, now for PSG." The paper reveals the emotional words of a tearful Arteta in front of the supporters, admitting that he had sometimes doubted his own ability to lead Arsenal to the top, while insisting that the club can now legitimately aim for the Champions League. But this final day also marks the end of an era. Pep Guardiola said goodbye to Manchester City after a decade of dominance, with those farewells spoiled by a final day defeat 2-1 to Aston Villa and an Ollie Watkins brace at the Etihad Stadium. Pep was visibly emotional during his speech.
If the next years you all around the world and you find me in the streets here in Europe, in the States and wherever, if you are a Man City fan, come to me and hug me. I will need it.
At Anfield, the end of an era was also marked by the combined departures of Mohamed Salah and Andrew Robertson. A tearful Salah said he is proud and happy with what he achieved at the Reds.
Yeah, I feel it's life. Like I look back and would I want more than I achieved? Not really. Like collectively and individually, like we won it all. The most important thing when we're leaving, you get the receive like this today, like fans appreciate what you have done for the club, me and him. This is the most important thing. Like it's not like, oh, come on, just go away, we don't want you anymore. No, you see the love from the fans. This is the most important thing for me.
Inside the Times and the Express, another page of history was written under the headline, "Party Like It's 1973." Against all expectations, Sunderland, the Black Cats, booked their place in the Europa League after a huge 2-1 win over Chelsea. It is the first time in 50 years that the club has qualified for European competition. Chelsea, meanwhile, are left in 10th place and will play no European football next season under Xabi Alonso. In Spain, the Catalan newspapers Sport and Mundo Deportivo are united in celebrating the incredible achievement of FC Barcelona's women's team. "Que grandes!" exclaims Sport, while Mundo Deportivo goes with "desatadas." The Blaugrana players celebrated in front of more than 5,000 supporters their fourth Champions League title, completing a historic season marked by an unprecedented quadruple: Champions League, Liga F, Copa de la Reina, and Spanish Super Cup. In Madrid, the atmosphere is radically different and far more political. Marca makes a major statement with an exclusive interview with Enrique Riquelme, the official candidate for the Real Madrid presidency. Real Madrid must recover its values. For the first time in 20 years, genuine elections will take place at the White House. Riquelme is directly attacking the current leadership, saying he wants to return power to the socials and prevent any attempt to privatize the club. It is only after the end of the electoral process that José Mourinho's arrival will be announced.
Crossing the Alps, we discover an Italian football landscape turned completely upside down. The final day of Serie A produced a historic and totally unpredictable scenario. The headline from La Gazzetta dello Sport sums up the general shock. Milan Juve fuori, festa Roma Como. Milan and Juve out, Roma and Como celebrate. For the first time in decades, the two strongholds of Italian football both failed to qualify simultaneously for the most prestigious European competition, finishing 5th and 6th respectively. AC Milan lived a true nightmare at San Siro, losing 1-2 to Cagliari. The Pink Paper Daily speaks of an imminent Cardinale revolution, making clear that the heads of sporting director Fulani, advisor Tare, and the coach are already on the chopping block. Juventus, for their part, could do no better than a 2-2 draw in an electric Derby della Mole against Turin. The Turin daily Tuttosport takes a much darker and more societal approach with its shocking yellow headline, Hanno perso tutti, everyone lost. More than the sporting result, the paper denounces a surreal night of violence and madness. The Turin derby actually kicked off more than an hour late because of violent clashes outside the stadium between ultras and the police. A Juventus supporter was seriously injured and is in life-threatening condition. In a show of protest and solidarity, the away end emptied during the match, producing scenes of devastation. While the giants weep, the outsiders rejoice. Corriere dello Sport splashes the word Amazzangri across its front page. This feat belongs to AS Roma and above all to the magnificent Como side coached by Cesc Fabregas. Como have secured their historic ticket to the Champions League by crushing Cremonese 4-1. It is a monumental achievement for the club led by the former Spanish world champion who now reaches the European elite. AS Roma, meanwhile, take third place thanks to a comfortable 2-0 win away at Hellas Verona, powered by a Paulo Dybala masterclass, with the Argentine providing 2 assists for Marlon and El Shaarawy. Finally, a chapter also closes in Naples. Antonio Conte said farewell to the Diego Armando Maradona Stadium with a 1-0 win against Udinese, thanks to a goal from Rasmus Højlund. The coach leaves after securing second place and sends out a heartfelt Grazie Napoli, while persistent rumors already link him with MLS in the United States. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. See you soon for the next episode of 12th League Daily.